Kat here. Welcome to today's tutorial on the Muladhara Chakra. The Muladhara Chakra is our root chakra, so it's our grounding connection. And if I had to use three words to describe it, grounding, solidarity, and stability. So it's about finding our place in this world and finding that deep connection. It's about sending energy down into the earth, but also drawing that energy back up from the earth. And we're going to work through that as we connect the feet and feel that energetic lift through the legs. So the area of the Muladhara Chakra, if I had to draw, like if I had some chalk, draw a little triangle, it would be like you're wearing a G-string. It's like this little area here. The Muladhara Chakra itself is actually located between your butthole and your vag. So if you had to, say, do your pelvic floor, that pelvic lift exercises, you would say it's like that squeezing or that lifting of the perineum. So you can actually feel that as you do that sensation of lifting up inside, trying to draw that energy up and into that center, and that would be the location of the Muladhara Chakra. Now, that's not always the easiest thing to find, so it takes a little bit of work, and it's something that we actually really should work on. So don't be remiss in doing those exercises and finding that location. The color of the Muladhara Chakra is a vibrant red, so maybe that color might come up for you as we're moving through this vinyasa. The Muladhara Chakra also has its own Bij mantra, and that Bij mantra is LAM, spelt L-A-M. And as we move to the end of our practice today, I'm actually going to engage you in a little bit of a mantra and chanting that leads you into the meditation and the activation of that chakra using that Bij mantra. So without further ado, let's get started on our Muladhara Chakra flow today. So we're going to come and start in Sukhasana, easy seated pose. So just crossing at the ankles and just allowing the knees. So I don't have the feet close into the groin. I've got them a little bit of a distance away, and the feet are kind of tucked under the shins here more than being close to the groin. You can just rock side to side and just feel the sit bones on the earth. So not controlling the breath or doing anything too dramatic just yet. It might just be a gentle movement just to feel where you're at on the mat. I invite you to make some circles now. And as you make these circles, I want you to feel each different point of connection as you move around and feel the sit bones moving from side to side. So you can feel the front of the left and the right leg, and then maybe moving around into the back of the sit bones, onto the glutes a little bit, and then onto the other side. Let's do that one more time to the right. And you can feel that whole area. So it's not just one point that we're sitting on, but we're actually moving that whole area and connecting that to the earth. Let's shift it back the other way. So going right to left. So again, going slowly here and working on finding each little point of connection as you move around. You can bring the hands back to the knees and come back to the center, closing down the eyes for a moment. And just feel the connection to the breath. Maybe sit back a little bit into the hips so that you can feel the sit bones grounding and connecting to the earth. And you want to feel like that's quite expansive. So you're sending the energy down and really feeling the pelvic girdle or the sit bones kind of spread onto the earth. So you're taking up quite a lot of space on the mat in this Sukhasana. So we're just going to take 3 deep inhale and exhale breaths here. We're going to make those breaths long and slow. So maybe use a count of 4 or 5. So take that inhale and exhale. As you inhale, think of drawing the energy up into that center. And as you exhale, think about sending that energy down into that center. Make sure the inhale matches the exhale. Inhale and exhale. exhale, now that you've got that little rhythm, just find those 2 next breaths on your own. Last round. Opening the eyes, placing the hands onto the knees. I want you to sit back into this variation of cat pose. So as you sit back, you're going to feel that pelvic tilt. So the hips are lifting and you're sitting back into the glutes. As you roll forward, I want you to think about feeling that sensation of rolling through from your butt all the way forward. So you're going from the posterior tilt to the anterior tilt and this variation of cow pose. But I want you to think about the connection of the hips, so you're actually rolling through and feeling that movement from front to back. So just as we did feel it going round, now we're feeling that front and we're rolling through and feeling that connection into the back as we sink back. Inhale, rolling through the hips, finding that anterior tilt, drawing forward. And as you exhale, really feel that sensation of pulling back into this variation of cat stretch. One more round, rolling through, finding your anterior pelvic tilt. And then last round as we sit back into cat stretch, rolling through and feeling that posterior tilt there. Take one more, come forward, a little anterior tilt, and this time you're going to walk the hands and bring them down to the mat. What I want you to experience here is pressing the hands into the mat and sending your butt cheeks, your hips down to the earth. And you can make a little bit of movement here if you like, just to open up into the lumbar spine. And I really want you to have that sensation of grounding and connecting your hips down to the earth. You can allow the chin just to tuck into the chest. Find a little surrender here. Inhale's creating space, and the exhale allowing you to soften the shape. 2 more breaths here. Gentle gaze forward, staying low, walk the hands over to the right side, press the left hand into the earth and send the body back towards the left hip. Pressing into the ground and stretching through that left side, really feeling the expansiveness of the whole of the sit bones and the pelvis, that Muladhara connection to the earth as we press back. Walking the hands through center over to the other side, right hand over the right knee, and the left hand is going to press the body back into that left hip. Take another 2 rounds of breath here, expansiveness as you inhale and surrender as you exhale. Walking hands back through center and all the way back up. Reach the hands down by the side body, plant the right hand into the earth, left hand up and over. So the side lateral stretch here, and this is where we're going to press that right hip into the earth. You take that right elbow back a little and gaze towards the fingertips. My left hand is really giving a good press here. I'm trying to find that even balance between the right and left sit bones onto the earth. Take an inhale, flow it up and over. Drop the right hand, left hand comes over the head. This time I'm pressing my right hand into the earth and sending that left hip down to the ground. Feeling that opening right along from the left elbow down to the right sit bone. Inhale, come back to center, reach both arms up over the head. And as you exhale, sweep the right hand to the left knee and give yourself a little twist here. The difference is we want to feel that grounded connection, so the belly's going to stay facing towards the front. We're just going to try and twist and look over our shoulders, but while keeping that grounded connection to the earth here. Inhale, arms up and over. Let's try the other side. Left hand to the right knee, a little bit of a grip onto that knee, right hand behind you. Remember, belly facing forward, grounding the hips into the earth, feeling that lovely twisting sensation. Inhale and back to center. A little bit of fun here. We are going to come in to rock the baby. So grabbing hold of your left leg and as best you can, coming into this shape and giving it a little bit of a rock. So sometimes we can sit back in here, but you can see as I sit back and I've got that curve through the spine, and if I turn side on, you'll be able to see that I've now lifted my hips up off the ground. So what I want you to do is sit forward, and maybe that leg doesn't come as high, but feeling the grounded connection of the sit bones to the earth and opening up into that hip, so you're lengthening through the spine as you take this variation of rock the baby. So sit up tall and just grab hold of the leg as best you can. If you've just got hold of the foot, that's fine. Maybe you need a rope, maybe you need a strap or a towel to get in here today, and just find a comfortable seat here as best you can. Give it a little bit of movement, just opening up into that hip joint, but still feeling that beautiful grounded connection to the earth. Exhale, release the left foot to the earth. Let's give the right the same treatment. Bring that foot into the crook of the elbow if you can. Maybe you need a strap, maybe a towel if that's available to you. Pressing that foot into, oh, I just felt like I was actually rocking a baby then. Lifting up out of the back and feeling that grounded connection of the hips down to the earth. So try not to roll back into this space, but keep the sit bones even onto the earth. It's a challenge, no doubt, it's a challenge. Exhale and release. We're going to roll all the way over and come up into downward facing dog. So planting the hands into the mat, tucking the toes and lifting the hips nice and high. So my feet are about shoulder width, hip width apart. And I'm going to press my heels back into the earth, pressing my hands and lifting the hips. From here, what I want you to think about is the grounded connection of the inside of the foot. So sometimes we can roll our feet out, but we want to feel all four corners of the feet grounded, planted and connected into the earth. So really feeling like you're pressing that inside of the back heel into the mat. What you're going to do as you feel this is an energetic lift up through the inside of the thighs, all the way up into the adductor. And then that same sensation of drawing the perineum in and finding that Muladhara Chakra, or that root lock, Muladhara Bandha, and drawing that space in. And it might feel like a little bit of a core activation as well, so drawing the belly into the spine. And just playing that space, like releasing and then refinding that activation. Might take a little bend in the knees as you release out. And then as you go to reactivate, finding that lift and that lengthening through the legs. And this might take a little play in this space. It doesn't always happen first go. Maybe if we haven't really activated that space before, and we've got to tell the brain how to find its way there so that it becomes a more autonomous or an automatic reaction, we can find our way into that space. So like everything, it'll take a little bit of work. Take a gentle gaze forward, and we're going to walk the hands back towards the feet. Take a deep bend into the knee and drop the belly down over the thighs. Hang the head heavy. And here, take a gentle rock forward and backwards. And just feel where your center of gravity is, but hang heavy and drop into that grounded connection. So feeling that inside of the ankle, the toes pressing into the mat, the spread between the toes, and that outside edge grounding down. Take the hands into the mat. You can even take some of that weight as you shift forward into the hands, and just gently straightening out the legs, maybe playing in the space, straightening right and left. Try and drop the head, and then finding a little bit of stillness. You're going to bring the right hand to the center of the feet, bend into the left knee, press that hand into the earth and lift the right arm while I eat my mala. Lift that left arm high, so you're feeling that twist. Exhale and release. Left hand between the feet, lift the right heel. Right hand goes high. Gaze towards the right fingertips. Exhale and release. Start to walk the hands forward. Come back into your downward facing dog. Press the hands into the earth. Make any adjustments with the feet. See if you can play in that space, finding the lift through the perineum and the grounded connection of the feet down to the earth, lifting up through the inside of the legs. Take a gentle gaze forward, bend into the knees and walk the feet forward. This time coming into halfway lift. Exhale into a deep forward fold. Gentle bend in the knees, roll all the way up to Tadasana. Our first standing or mountain pose for the day. Inhale, take the arms up over the head, press the hands palms together, and then bring the hands back to heart center. Gently close down the eyes and just feel a little bit of movement as you perhaps separate the heels slightly in this space and find that grounded connection of all four corners of the foot planting down into the earth. As you do this, have the sensation or the thought of sending the energy down into the earth. And I know this might sound a little esoteric or a little left of center at first, but really feel like you're pressing the feet into the earth. And as you inhale, feel like you're drawing the energy up. So you feel the exhale sending the energy down through the legs into the feet and that grounded connection. And it should feel quite heavy into the feet. Then as you energetically lift up through the inside of the legs, you're going to feel that sensation of spiraling. As you engage into the Muladhara Chakra, maybe feel a little bit of belly to spine action. And find some stillness in this space with that activation. We're going to move into a round of sun salutation A. So yogi's choice, whether you're in full chaturanga, knees to the earth, or ashtanga namaskara. Release the hands by the side body. Inhale, arms up high. Exhale, deep forward fold, hinge at the hips. Try and keep that connection to the root chakra as you fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step the left foot back. Step the right foot back. And yogi's choice, I'm coming down onto my knees today. You can do full chaturanga, ashtanga namaskara. Inhale to baby cobra or urdhva mukha. Exhale, roll over the toes, press back. And see if you can come back to that space of lifting into the perineum and finding that root lock. Grounding the feet into the earth, drawing the shoulders away from the ears. Feeling that little extra lift, that energetic pull. Gentle gaze forward as you inhale. Step the right foot, then the left. Come into flat back. Exhale, deep forward fold. And inhale, roll to rise. A little bend in the knees if you need. Reach the arms up over the head, press the hands, palms. Find that energetic lift, the connection of the feet to the earth. Exhale, hands to heart center. Hands by the side. Let's take one more round, sun salutation A. Inhale, arms up overhead, press hands, palms. Exhale, hinge forward from the hips, deep forward fold. Try and find that Muladhara connection. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, step the left foot back this time. Yogi's choice. I'm dropping the knees in this variation today. Inhale, baby cobra or urdhva mukha. Exhale, roll over the toes, press back, and with that focus on ground and connection with the feet, energetic lift through the legs, that activation in our root chakra. Gentle gaze forward, bend into the knees, step the left foot, then the right, come into halfway lift. We're going to stay down in our Uttanasana, deep forward fold.
So you might like to bend into the knees. We're just going to wrap our arms around the back of our legs, grab hold of our ankles if that's available to you. If not, simply stay here in the deep forward fold and maybe just try to take one hand to the back, find your balance, and then the other. Rock forward into the toes, but still send the heels down to the mat. Drop the head and lengthen the hips towards the sky. So you might not make it all the way. Keep that little bend in the knees and just work on lifting the hips and finding some length in the hamstring. Wrapping the hands around the ankles, maybe rocking forward into the toes, but still finding the inhale and exhale, sending energy down, drawing energy up, and seeing if you can lift into the perineum and find that root lock. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, deep forward fold. We're just going to roll straight back up, rise up to Tadasana. Arms up over the head. Feel that lovely rush of blood to the head. Hands, palms press and return to the heart center. Bend into the knees. Keep that grounded connection of the feet to the earth and come down into your Utkatasana or chair pose. Send the hips back over the heels. See if you can gaze to the toes. Be heavy in the feet here. Allow the hips to sink down and feel that counterbalance of the hips going back. Hands to the heart center, deep forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. We're going to step the right foot back and come into high lunge. So feel like you're activating or finding a posterior tilt here. So you want to feel that tilt of the pelvis and the activation of the belly to the spine. Then we're going to lift up and still feel like we have that grounded lift through the inside of the thigh here as we take our arms up over our head. Press the back toes into the mat, straighten through that back right knee, belly to spine, and feel that energetic lift through the front left leg and then the back right leg. See if you can grow a little taller here while still feeling that beautiful grounded connection to the earth. Exhale and release the hands down to the mat. Drop the back right knee, uncurl the toes. So we're coming in for Anjaneyasana. What I want you to do is not drop too low into this pose or into this shape, but come up here, find that pelvic tilt, so that posterior tilt. You want to feel the belly coming into the spine and like you're tilting the hips forward. Plant the front left knee into the earth, foot into the earth, and the back right shin. So you feel like there's this push in two directions. So this is going to feel that engagement right up through the legs. Inhale the arms up overhead. Take hold of the left wrist with the right hand. Take hold of the right wrist with the left hand and pull your hand over the top of your head, giving yourself a lovely side body stretch here. Really ground the foot and the shin into the mat and feel that energetic press down and the inhale drawing the energy up. Exhale and release both hands down to the mat. Stay up with the hips over the knee. We're coming into a variation of half Hanumanasana. Straighten through the front leg if that's possible. Send the hips back, and you might need to just adjust that front foot slightly. Press the back shin into the mat, hinge forward from the hips. So we're staying up high in this variation. Pull the toes back towards the face. And again, try and feel like you're pulling the mat, so you still have this energetic lift happening. So you're not just letting this foot flop, but you are pulling back, and this left hip is pulling back in space. And see if you can identify where that lift is in your Muladhara Chakra. So keep trying to play with that activation. And you might let go and then come back and re-find that activation. Drop into that front foot, slide back into your Anjaneyasana, and this time just to drop in and come a little lower in that stretch. Plant the hands, palms into the earth either side of the foot. Tuck the back right toes. We're going to step back to plank. Lift that foot and step it back. Take a vinyasa here, yogi's choice. Drop the knees and take a push up into baby cobra or urdhva mukha. Exhale, roll back. Ardha mukha, downward facing dog. Press the heels. Find that energetic lift through the legs. Drop the head. Inhale and lift the right leg. We're coming in on the other side. Step the right leg forward. And here we are back for our high lunge. So lean into that front right leg. Drop the hips down and square them. Start to find your pelvic tilt and switch on that energetic lift, drawing into the perineum. Engage into the belly. Lift all the way up to crescent lunge or high lunge. Hands, palms face each other. Drop down into the shape, but still feel like you're pressing that front right foot into the mat and lifting into the back toes, and you're feeling that energy lift up and out of the earth and into the legs. Little posterior tilt there, belly to spine, and lift. Exhale, hands down to the mat. Drop the back left knee. We're coming into that variation of Anjaneyasana. Press the shin into the mat. Press the front foot into the mat. Inhale and lift. Again, little posterior tilt here. So you're not going to come as low into the shape. I want you to find and identify that posterior tilt and find your balance. Now drop in, belly to spine. Arms up overhead. Right hand grabs the left, and you're going to pull in the opposite direction this time, stretching down the left side of the body. So we're not coming super deep into this shape. We're finding that pressure into the earth, that energetic lift as we inhale, and as we exhale, sending the energy back down. But really the engagement of the legs and the posterior tilt of the pelvis here. Exhale the hands down to the mat, half Hanumanasana. Keep the hips high. Straighten out that front leg. Press the heel into the mat, but draw it back. So it's almost like you're dragging that foot back. Peel the toes back towards the face. Lifting up into that energetic center of the Muladhara or root chakra. Again, it's like playing in the space, just trying to find those subtle internal movements that tell you, am I there yet? Are we there yet? It's like when you go on a trip in the car. Are we there yet? It's like that. You just keep finding it, and then one moment you go, ooh, there it is, and you go a little deeper into the stretch, you might lose it, and come back. So just think of it as play in the space. Inhale, come forward, back into your low lunge, and just allow yourself a little bit of surrender here, opening up into that hip. Hands, palms plant, tuck the back toes, lift up into the back knee, take it back into plank. Yogi's choice for chaturanga, ashtanga namaskara, or a yogi push-up. Inhale, urdhva mukha or baby cobra. Exhale, send it back. From here, we are going to step the right foot forward. So inhale and lift, keeping the hips square. Send that back left heel into the mat. Flex the foot and send the heel back towards the sky. So you have that sensation as you did when you were standing, that energetic lift through the left leg, but then also in the heel of the right leg, drawing that energy from the invisible ground. Exhale, step forward, come into high lunge. So again, engaging into the belly as you lift all the way up into high crescent lunge. Take 2 breaths here as you find or re-find that space. And we're going to open into Virabhadrasana 2, so Warrior 2. Stay low, open the arms, drop into this space. So all of our regular things are still applying here in our Virabhadrasana 2. What I want you to focus on a little bit more is the grounded connection of the inside of the legs. So feel like you're sending the energy down
the inside of the thighs, and then drawing the energy up. So you feel that activation through the inside of the thigh. Remember, you've got this triangular bikini shape here, and you want to feel that lift as you inhale, and send the energy down as you exhale. Take 2 more breaths here. Feel the lift, energy down. One more time, inhale, lift, energy down. Straighten through that front right leg. I want you to reach as far forward as you possibly can with your right hand. And if you need to bring the block, or you can take the hands to the shin and come up for triangle pose. So I haven't moved my legs in this variation. What I want you to do is ground the feet into the earth and feel that energetic lift. So the same sensation that you just had in your Warrior 2 into this variation of triangle pose, Trikonasana. Reaching the left hand high, creating all the triangles that we can with our body, but still feeling that energetic lift on the inside of the thighs, the grounded connection of the feet, and the power of the legs here. We're going to come into reverse warrior. So bend into that front knee, reach the arm, and take it back in the other direction. Away from that front leg, reaching up and over this side lateral bend. So still that energetic connection. Power the legs down into the earth. If you're thinking that your glutes are going to hurt a little bit later, I'm not going to lie, they probs will. Straighten through that front leg. Walk the feet heel toe a little closer together and come into goddess squat. So bending at the knees, hands to heart center, belly to spine, ground down into the feet, feeling energetic lift as you inhale. Maybe go a little lower as you exhale, shoulders back. Think about that engagement in our little Muladhara root chakra triangle, lifting up, exhale, sending energy down. This time squeeze and press the hands overhead. We're nearly there, 2 more breaths. Inhale, exhale 1. Inhale, exhale 2. And come back to your warrior 2. Windmill the hands down to the earth. Step back and take a vinyasa. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, urdhva mukha. Exhale back, ardha mukha. So I just want you to go ahead and lift the right leg again. As you exhale, step forward, and I want you to windmill up and over to the other side. Step back, knees to the earth, take a vinyasa. Exhale, inhale, urdhva mukha and lift. Press back. Stay here and breathe for 3 rounds of breath in your Ardha Mukha Savasana, downward facing dog. Refine that connection of the heels down to the earth. Lift up energetically through the legs. And we're going to repeat that sequence on this side. Lifting the left leg, keeping the hips square, ground the right foot into the earth. Send the left heel away from the butt, feeling like you still have that energetic earth to foot connection. Gentle gaze forward. Exhale, step it through, engage the belly, find that energetic lift all the way up. Crescent lunge. Maybe drop the hips and surrender here. Still feeling that right front left foot grounding into the earth and the right toes lifting up, lengthening through the back leg. Open to Virabhadrasana B, or Warrior 2. Grounding the feet down, the same as we practiced on the other side. Inhale, feel the energetic lift, and you might even turn the palms up as you do that. And as you exhale, turn the palms down and feel that grounded connection into the earth. Energetic inhale, lift up. Exhale, send it down. One more time, pressing the feet into the earth and lifting the energy up. Exhale, allowing yourself to drop back in, straighten through your left leg. Reach that left hand as far forward as you can.
before you drop down, hand coming to the shin or to the yoga block, into this variation of Trikonasana, triangle pose. Ground the feet into the earth. Lift up energetically through the inside of the thighs. Find as much length as you can, fingertips to toes, stretching in all four directions. Take an inhale as you press the feet into the earth. Bend through your front left knee, reverse your warrior. Taking that stretch in the opposite direction, still feeling that depth and grounded connection. Inhale back, warrior two. Straighten through the front leg. Our last time coming into goddess squat, I promise. Bending into the knees, power the feet down into the earth. Energy lifting up through the center, hands to heart center. Reach the hands out in front of you. Hands, palms turn up towards the sky. Maybe close your eyes for a minute here. And feel the power and the presence in this moment. Just breathe. We're going to take 3 breaths here. 2 more. Drawing up, allowing yourself to go a little deeper. 1 more. Come back into your warrior two, turning to the left foot. Windmill the hands down to the earth. Step back into plank. Shift forward. Drop the knees if that's your variation today, or full chaturanga. Inhale up. Urdhva Mukha. Exhale back. Ardha Mukha. Woo! Muladhara Chakra stuff's hard work. Gentle gaze forward and just walking the feet towards the hands. I'm going to turn to face you. You might still be at the front of the mat. Come all the way to standing. We're going to take tree pose. Bring the hands to the hips. And just feel your grounded connection to the earth. And just allow the body to recalibrate for a moment. If you like, you can bring your hands to heart center and just take 2 deep breaths here. Maybe just release that connection for a moment. And when you're ready, come back, re-find that energetic connection to the earth, perhaps separating the heels just slightly, giving yourself some space. We're going to balance on the left leg first. So find one point of focus. Start to lift the right leg. Now your tree pose might be here today, and that's perfectly okay. It might be balanced on the knee, as long as you are feeling like that's even and you're not putting too much pressure in there. You might lift and use that hand to pull the heel into the thigh. Press that thigh into the foot, press the foot into the thigh, lift up and out of that space. Ground your left foot into the earth. Feel the energetic lift here. You should have, after all this beautiful work in the legs, this powerful, stable balance and a grounded connection, thanks to the relationship that we've just built with our Muladhara, our root chakra. Grounded, stable exploration of our solidarity and connection. 2 more breaths here. Beautiful work, everybody. Exhale and release the right leg down to the earth. Just give the feet a little bit of movement. Maybe roll the shoulders out. Balancing on the other side. Grounding the feet down. You might separate the heels a little here, spread the toes, feel that grounded connection. Find your one point of focus on the floor or the wall in front of you for steady gaze, steady balance. Start to lift in to that left. Find your place for balance today. If it's up into the thigh, perfect. If it's at the knee, perfect. If it's at the shin, or you're just finding the balance today, wherever you are is exactly where you're supposed to be right now. Allow that right foot to ground into the earth. Bring the hands to heart center, lift up and out of the waist. Still feel that energetic connection of the foot pressing into the thigh pressing back into the foot. We're going to take 3 more breaths here. This beautiful tree pose, an exploration of our grounded connection and stability. 1 more breath before we exit this pose. Releasing your left foot down to the mat. Take an inhale breath, reach the arms up over the head. As you exhale, dive forward, hinge forward at the hips. Inhale, come to halfway lift. Exhale, step back to plank and take your very last vinyasa for today. Knees, chest and chin, or full chaturanga. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha. Exhale back, Ardha Mukha. Find this last downward facing dog and explore the root block here this last time. Drop the head, feel the energetic connection of the legs into the earth. Lift up through the inside of the legs, the inside of the thighs. Lock into that. Lift through the perineum, belly to spine. Release down, knees down to the earth. Separate the knees. Sink the hips towards the heels and reach the body forward in our wide-legged child's pose. Bring the forehead down to the earth and rest. You can use the hands to press the body back so that the hips are really hanging heavy onto the heels and that you feel that expansiveness in that space. 2 more breaths here. Gently start to walk the hands back towards the hips. Bring the knees slightly together. Shuffle the calves out of the way. And you might like a block to sit in this space, or you might be quite comfortable coming down. Now, this is Supta Virasana, or reclined hero's pose. So, you can have the knees together here. We want the flat front of the foot down onto the earth. So try not to splay the feet out to the side, but tuck them under. And that's where it might be helpful to move the calves out of the way and sit back into this space. Plant the hands onto the feet and just drop back onto the elbows. Exploring the opening of the heart space here, but the connection of the hips down to the earth, slightly softer, and you can play in this space, drawing that connection in and releasing. 2 more breaths here. Press the hands into the feet, returning all the way to your hero's pose. And indeed, coming forward, sitting down onto the mat, onto your butt, and extending the legs out in front of you. We're nearly there, my friends. We are nearly there. Hopefully you've worked up a little bit of a sweat. It doesn't feel like we've done that much, but because we've been really focused energetically, it can actually be super hard work, even though the practice itself seems very, very simple. This is the beautiful thing about our yoga or our yoga asana practice. It doesn't have to be exceptionally complex and pretzel-like to get you all the benefits and the results of the practice. So we're coming into a shape called Dandasana or staff pose. So I want you to flex the feet away from you. Sorry, pull the toes towards you, but push the feet away. So it's almost like you want to lift the heels off the floor. It's that same energetic connection that we had when we were in Tadasana, when we were standing, but it's like you've got an invisible floor here, but I want you to feel the sensation of the floor. So it's like all 4 corners of the feet are pressing, and you're feeling that energetic lift up through the insides of the thighs, lifting up, feeling the engagement into the Muladhara Chakra. Plant the hands down by the hips. Engage the belly. Tuck the chin into the throat. And hold here for 3 rounds of breath. Inhale, exhale 1. Draw the shoulders down the back. Inhale, exhale 2. Harder than it looks, right? Inhale, exhale, and release. Woo! Inhale the arms up over the head, Paschimottanasana. Reach forward, grab hold of the toes, or if you're not that flexible and you've got a little bend in the knees, perfectly okay. Maybe you're up against the wall. Maybe you're using a strap around the inside of the feet. Grab it, whatever you can. Press your butt cheeks into the earth. I want you to feel like you're really grounding down, like you are taking up as much space with your butt as humanly possible. Hinge forward from the hips and feel yourself growing broad on your yoga mat. Draw the chest forward and press the backs of the thighs into the earth. Take 2 more breaths here wherever you are. If the knees are bent and you're still getting that stretch in the hamstring, perfectly fine. Just ground as much of the sit bones into the earth and create or take up as much space as possible. Inhale, lift up and out of that shape. Those 2 shapes can be quite intense. Bring the feet in towards the groin in Baddha Konasana, butterfly pose. And we're just going to walk the hips forward and walk the hips back. One more time. Walk the hips forward and walk the hips back. Wherever you are, wrap the hands around the toes, press the feet together, spread the sit bones, again taking up as much space as you possibly can, grounding down into the earth, opening the knees towards the earth. 2 more breaths here. 1 more. Exhale and release, coming down onto our backs. We are only 2 shapes or 3 shapes away from our Shavasana. Bring the knees into the chest. Give your knees a big hug. Try and draw the chin in towards the chest and flatten the back down towards the earth. Keep the right knee in at the chest. Wrap the hands around the shin. You can interlace the fingers. And just send the left leg away. Really squeeze that knee into the chest. Feel that energetic lift through the inside of the left leg. As you push and pull, it's like you're sending the foot away, but at the same time you're feeling that energetic lift. Exhale and release. Right leg goes down, left leg comes up. Pull that knee into the chest. Send that right foot away, pulling the toes back, feeling like you're standing on an invisible or pressing into an invisible wall. Bring both knees into the chest. Take a little happy baby. Length of the spine down to the earth, flex the feet. Energetic lift as you press up. Exhale, knees into the chest. Let it go. Our last pose, our last shape before we hit Shavasana is our bridge pose, Setu Bandhasana. So, heels close to the hips. I want you to reach for the feet with the hands, and maybe the feet are just grabbing the ankles, and that's okay. Press the feet firmly into the earth. Engage the inside of the thighs like you are squeezing something with your legs. Exhale the breath. As you inhale, press the feet, keep that squeeze, and lift up into the hips. So we're not focused on building a total bridge here or back bending. I want you to press the feet into the floor, activate the inside of the thighs like you're gripping a yoga block, and send the hips a little bit higher. Take 2 more breaths here, really squeezing and lifting, feeling that push into the earth, the energetic lift up through the engagement of the thighs. Exhale and release. Turn the heels out, drop the knees together. Take 2 deep inhale, exhale breaths. 1 more of these shapes and then you are Shavasana. Turn the heels back in close to the butt. If you want to reach for the ankles, if that's in your practice, you're more than welcome to do that. Otherwise, keep the hands close to the earth. Allow the shoulders to drop back. Press the feet in. Start to engage the thighs like you're squeezing into a yoga block. Lift the hips as you inhale. We're not going too high. We're lifting and pressing. Keep reaching for the heels. Press the feet into the earth. Lift the hips. Engage the inside of the thighs. 2 more breaths here. Inhale, exhale. 1. Lift some more. Last one. Exhale and release. Take the right foot out to the right side of the mat. Really extend the right foot away as far as you can. Do the same with the left, extending the left foot as far away as you possibly can. Turn the hands, palms up to the sky. Dig the elbows in, tuck the shoulder blades away. Reach the hands away. Take a deep inhale breath. Let it all go. I'm just going to stay here for about 10 breaths. If you start to build into this practice on your own, please feel free to stay in Shavasana. You can even pause this part of the tutorial and stay in your Shavasana a little longer, 5-10 minutes. We're going to take another 5 breaths here right now. Letting go of everything you've done, everything you thought you couldn't do, but you're here with me now, so you obviously did it. Just 3 more breaths here. Allowing the legs to relax. Honestly, I feel like I could Shavasana here all day. We're going to come out and move into our Muladhara Chakra, our root chakra, Bij mantra. Bring the feet together and reach the arms over the head. Give yourself a good stretch. Oh, that feels nice. Heels to the butt. Roll yourself over left or right and give yourself a little press coming back up to Sukhasana. Now, the challenge is, do you remember which way you crossed your legs when we first started practice? I'm pretty sure I was the other way around. Like, so I don't notice this much because I have, or these days, because I have a little bit more even Steven. When you find yourself in Sukhasana, just take any mudra that's comfortable for you. I, in this particular meditation, really like the universal mudra, and so that's the touching of all 5 fingers together. Now, if you're sitting just for the purpose of this meditation, you can stay in Sukhasana. If you'd like, you can bring a block underneath the hips and just find your comfortable seat for this next part of, or the closing part of our class today, our practice today. So whatever's working for you, whether it's up on a block or if you're comfortable in Sukhasana, and resting the hands in the mudra of your choice, whether that's on the knees, hands, palms facing up, universal mudra. You may even like to take this yoni mudra or kali mudra, whatever you like, yogi's choice. I'm rocking with the universal. So bringing our attention back to the Muladhara Chakra, sitting back into the hips, and remembering that energetic lift that we felt through our practice.
We're going to move into the Bij mantra LAM, L-A-M. And just for the purpose of this mantra, I'm actually going to turn this music off because it's very challenging to mantra while there is other music going on in the background. So finding that comfortable seat, sitting back into the hips with the mudra of your choice, closing down the eyes. So with the focus on the root chakra and that energetic center, the mantra or Bij mantra is LAM, L-A-M. What we're going to do is chant that mantra 5 times externally, and then chant the mantra to yourself 5 times, so without any sound. And then after we've done that 10 times, I just want you to sit and breathe the energy in, up through the Muladhara Chakra, and send the energy back down. And just observe what's happening in that space of the body. And see if you can feel that connection to that energetic center. So I'm going to demonstrate the first LAM. Exhale the breath, and as you inhale, fill the body with fresh oxygen. LAM. There's a little pause before you take the next inhale. Join me now, we've got 5 to go. Last one. Repeat the mantra internally to yourself for the next 5 rounds. And then once you've finished, just sitting quietly with the sensations that are rising in the body. Three more to go. Sitting quietly, just allowing that energy to move through the body, observing any vibrations, any pulsations in the body, where they might be. Just allowing yourself to be with that energetic connection and that movement if there is any. Maybe there's a gentle rocking of the body. Don't be afraid of whatever comes up here, just allow it to move through you. take another 5 rounds of breath here in your own time. Gently bringing the hands to heart center. Taking a deep inhale breath, drawing the energy up through the Muladhara Chakra all the way to the crown chakra. As you exhale, sending that bright white light energy back down to the earth. Feeling that connection, solidarity, grounding, stability. Gently opening the eyes. My yogi friends, thank you so much for being present through this flow, this tutorial, and working hard and finding that connection to your Muladhara Chakra. To you, I say namaste. Thank you so much. Have a beautiful day, my yogi friends. I shall see you on our next tutorial.